Okay. Hi, everybody. How's it going? So I know I'm keeping us from seeing people hitting each other, so I'm going to try to make this really, really fast. And there's nothing of substance here, so you can kind of, if you need to let your mind wander a little bit, that's good too. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about, NFTs. So NFTs are done. They're over. I don't know if you've been following the news, but they had a run. People were paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for 8 pictures, and those days are behind us. That's over now. And so what can we take from this all this excitement? I think one of the things that was interesting was it seemed like when all the news stories were coming out, people really hated NFTs. People were so excited to see people losing money on them, and just there's just a lot of hate in general. And the thing that kind of made me think about is the traditional art world has been bad for a long time, and I think it's maybe just not getting as hyped in the media the way NFTs were. So I kind of wanted to talk about some of the interesting ways that the traditional art world has already done all the crap that NFTs have been doing. I want to start with a piece that I think probably people here will be familiar with because it's pretty recent. This piece is called Comedian. It was at Art Basel in 2019. You might remember seeing memes of this all over the internet. It was literally a banana taped to the wall. It was an edition of 3, and the price that they were selling it for was $120,000. And right away, 2 of them sold immediately. $120K, banana taped to a wall. Yeah. And the funny thing was, a guy ate the banana at one point during the show. He said he was also an artist, and he said this was a performance. And you might be thinking, oh, did he get he must be in jail now for eating $120K worth of art. But it wasn't. They just put a new banana up there. Because the thing is, the banana itself wasn't the art. If you bought this piece, you were buying a certificate that gave you instructions about how to put the banana on the wall, how to tape it up, about how high it should be off the ground, how often you should put a new banana up there. You were getting a certificate of authenticity, the kind of shit that people complain about with NFTs all the time. And the internet went crazy, oh, this is so stupid. Look at how crazy this art thing is. People were sticking bananas everywhere. Oh, look, I can do it too. I don't even have the certificate. I'm doing it for free. The thing is, that was exactly what the artist wanted. This was built on hype and kind of playing into the art rage, or the outrage. The outrage was the art. The people who bought it were smart. It's probably worth a lot more than $120K now because it became such a phenomenon. This person basically summoned a meme out of thin air. And for less outrage, but kind of in the same ballpark, I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of Saul LeWitt's work. He does these amazing giant installations, where he'll cover walls in these really interesting patterns. They're very site-specific. Yeah, just gorgeous stuff. And similarly, if you buy a Saul LeWitt piece, you're getting a certificate of authenticity to display it, and you're getting very detailed instructions about how to display it, how to install it, what you need to do to put it up there. Saul LeWitt isn't coming to install it for you. He's dead now, so he can't. But even if he was alive, this is not what you're buying. You are buying the instructions to make that. And actually, some of his early wall drawing stuff is really cool because they're kind of almost like analog NFTs, because a lot of them are taking kind of simple components and then presenting instructions on how to recombine them to cover a surface. So yeah, so that's cool. Conceptual art, not monkey pictures, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, we'll go on with NFT stuff. NFTs aren't even the art. They're just a receipt. This is a thing that I also hear a lot. It's kind of presented as some big gotcha about NFTs. And the receipt's really important. Provenance is one of the key components of being able to sell art. Obviously, with older pieces, it's really important to be able to show a chain of ownership just to prove that this is authentically the art you're saying it is. But I think people also forget that provenance can also, whoever owned a piece can increase the value of that piece. Like a great example, so this is Rothko, White Center by Mark Rothko, 1950. This piece, it's worth a lot now. It's also kind of informally known as the Rockefeller Rothko because David Rockefeller bought it in 1960 for $10,000. It was sold in 2007, I believe, for $72 million. That's a great return. And part of it is just the sort of mythology of a Rockefeller, another celebrity basically like owning this extremely important piece of art. So the art world's already comfortable with like a lot of like fuzzy scenarios, like weird ownership, selling ideas. Like, yeah, they were doing this stuff long before NFTs. And the art world was also doing all the bad stuff too. Fine art was sort of the original cryptocurrency. It was a great way to sort of like hide money. Easy to move around, widely recognized. Great for fraud, tax fraud. Yeah, it's awesome. Actually, like I think one of the things that kind of like really kind of helped me figure out the direction of this was like I was reading. This was like a YouTube comment that I came across when I was doing research for this, and someone was saying, about a video kind of explaining the value of NFTs as artwork. NFTs are okay because they're just like art galleries. What I learned, art galleries are bad because they're just like NFTs. Like, yes, that is the right lesson. And actually, the art world itself is kind of in a crisis point. You can see, like, over the past several decades, like the total market cap of all the fine art out there is kind of staying roughly the same. But what's happening is like the sort of top 10, top 100 artists are actually going up in value. So it's becoming more stratified. Like the same problems that you see in other industries where it's like the very, very rich are getting richer and people at the bottom are getting even less opportunity. That's happening in the art world as well. And it's become a thing where it's like you're not going to like buy something out of love for the image because you just can't live without it. People are buying as investments now, and we need to get the weirdos back in here. So here's what I'd love to see now that NFTs are dead and maybe we can build them back up. We need to actually kind of foster an environment where people feel comfortable paying for art, and it's not necessarily like super expensive art that you can flip for double right away. It's maybe you're buying stuff because you love it or you want to support the artist, and maybe you buy a bunch. Maybe one of those people does become the next Basquiat or something, and then whatever you own is worth a lot more. And just like getting into the art world can be intimidating in like the normal gallery system. Like it's weird to go in and ask for a price list and then kind of balk at that and like awkwardly like stumble out of the gallery. There's this event that happens every year in New York, and I'm sure there's stuff like this all over the world, called the Mocha Arts Fest, which is put on by the Society of Illustrators. So you go into this like giant room, and it's all these like illustrators and artists, generally kind of skewing a bit younger, people that are not as established yet, but they're all selling stuff at booths. Like this is my hall. I went actually like not long after the Bad Kids mint, and was just sort of like overwhelmed by like buying everything, and like there's so much good stuff there. I was buying stuff because it looked good, and $25 or $50 is like a pretty cheap price for a print. I wasn't looking at it as an investment. I was buying it because I liked it. And so like we need to. I'm sure everyone here knows some people who are artists. Like we need to get more artists making NFTs. People and not just like a retread of some painting they already did that's like digitally scanned. Like there's ways to use the medium, to explore the medium, what it can do. Like we've barely scratched the surface, I feel like. And just getting more people in there is going to be better overall. Like we want Cosmos to be thought of as a place where people are making. I mean, there's already amazing tech, but like we want it to be like have ideas that go beyond DeFi and beyond money. And I've tried to do this a little bit myself. Like with After the Filter, I got 2 super talented artist friends that don't know shit about crypto, and I was like, hey, let's try to do a project as an NFT. They were game, and it's working pretty well so far. So yeah, so NFTs need to die. I think we can get something healthier and less hype driven. Now that things have a chance to kind of be reborn. We have all the structures in place for this amazing decentralized marketplace that doesn't have the kind of gatekeepers that the traditional art world has. We can do better. We can have like kind of a saner thing that is, small artists can kind of find a way in, and sort of early patrons of those people can be rewarded. It's just there's so many possibilities. A Bored Ape sold for 1.2 million like a couple days ago. Never mind, guys. Forget everything I just said. The hype train's back on. We're going to the moon, everyone. Thank you.